Hey, how's it going, F3 members and F3 fans? I'm sitting here with our very own Evan the Butcher Cuts. He's got a title fight coming up. Evan, tell us about it, man.
No, I'm excited. This is not my first title fight, so I'm really trying to go up into the Northeast, go collect some titles up there, and then hopefully move to the UFC. This fight will be for Cage Fury Fighting Championships, CFFC, and they're known for sending a lot of their champions to the UFC. So hopefully this will be a good springboard onto the next level.
Very nice. And I'm gonna backtrack, and I know everybody has this question right here. The Butcher, tell us about it, man. That's a sweet name. I like it.
So, before I was full-time teaching combat sports and martial arts, I worked as a apprentice to a butcher at a butcher shop. Okay. So I wasn't doing any of the big work, but it was the small work, but it worked well with my last name, Cuts, man. And that's one thing is if someone fights me, I want them to remember it, man. Even if I don't win, I want to leave them scarred.
Very nice. Excellent. Okay, now fast forward, okay? You've been going through a fight camp. How are you feeling?
This fight camp's been great. I mean, I don't know how much you guys can see behind us, but the facility we're in now makes it so easy to train. I have access to world level coaches, access to amazing training partners, and access to all the tools that I need as far as weights, as far as personal training, as far as diet advice goes. I have everything all under one roof, which is incredibly helpful.
Right on. So, me being here every day with him, of course, I see the amount of times you train a day. You can't hold a candle to that. He's gonna do his striking, he's gonna do his jiu-jitsu, he's gonna do his conditioning. Is there anything you've added to your repertoire on this fight camp?
Honestly, the conditioning's been the biggest part.
Okay.
That's something that, I enjoy the game of boxing. I enjoy the game of jiu-jitsu. I enjoy the game of fighting. I do not enjoy lifting weights. unless I have someone, what's really been a game changer is having someone who is educated, as a personal trainer that's able to sit there and be like, hey, look, you need to do X, Y, Z to not only improve your performance, but also keep your body safe. I've had some things and some stability issues in some parts of my body that have cleared up since doing that training. So that's been invaluable for me.
Very cool. And I'm gonna go ahead and throw it in there for the educated strength conditioning coaches of the world. We matter, we know what we're doing, the science is real. So if you know one, get with them. Yeah. That's my world, that's where I come from. Okay, so what is your record?
So my record right now is an 11-4 as a pro. That's my official record, but I've done a reality show with Spike TV and Bellator where I had 2 wins and 1 loss. Unfortunately, on those shows, they call them exhibition bouts. So even though it's a fight and it's a real fight in 4-ounce gloves, they don't get to go on your record. So, I mean, for me, this is my 19th pro fight. So
nice.
My comfort level, I feel like, especially in the last 4 years, has really risen. I mean, the cage is somewhere where I'm not anxious to go to in a way that's negative. The cage is a portal of chaos that I'm going to use to transform and make my life better, man. But that's really what it is. It's like you can either, you can go in there and it can not go your way, or it can go your way. But either way, you can either win or lose and learn.
Okay.
I mean,
I like it.
For me, fighting makes me a better, stronger person. It keeps me involved in the gym. It keeps me pushing myself athletically. So I'm always excited to go perform. And not only with that physical aspect, I mean, there's an emotional aspect there too, that fighting keeps me accountable to the people around me. That
Very nice.
if I say that I'm going to train and get ready for a fight, not only is that helping me, that's benefiting the whole gym, that's benefiting my whole network of people, that's benefiting my children in the sense that I'm more focused and more able to push forward in the direction I want in life.
Very nice. Excellent. Okay, tell us a little bit about your opponent. What do you know about him?
So I know my opponent, Basil. He's another Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt.
Okay.
He looks like he's not afraid to strike, but it does look like he wants to push people up against the cage and take them down. And that's one place I shine, man. I choke a lot of people when they try to take me down. That's something I like. So I'm really looking forward to this fight. I'm looking forward to being the striker, to push the pace, to try to separate, create distance, look for a big finish, look for something that stamps my name seated to be ready to go to the next level.
Very nice. I like that. And then, so the promotion, right? The promotion you're fighting for right now. Tell us a little bit about them.
So they're what you would call probably a regional promotion.
Okay.
They pull people from across the United States And they have these fighters that are right, I would say we're pretty much at UFC level. We just haven't made the jump yet.
Gotcha.
So everyone there is just as dangerous as some of those guys in the UFC.
Okay.
But we don't get the same notoriety yet.
Right on, right on.
So I'm always telling people, go support your local show, go support your local fighter. Here in Texas, we have XKO, we have Legacy. Up in Philly, man, they have CFFC.
Very nice. Excellent. Okay. So, man, it's when I was talking to Cody, when I was interviewing Cody, I was kind of asking questions on getting inside, the fighter. When you're inside the fight. So, Evan, if you haven't noticed, is a tad bigger than Cody, so he's going to be fighting bigger men. So, yes, those strikes are going to be a little more significant. So, one of the questions I remember asking Cody, I'm going to ask you. You get drilled. It rocks you. What's the thought? Like, what happens in that moment?
I don't know how many times you've seen me fight, but I've been drilled and rocked many a time. But and I'm not trying to be silly. I'm just trying to. I push forward when I fight. Okay. I don't shy away from shots. Same thing in life. I don't shy away from the things that make me afraid. If I get hit, it makes me go forward more, man. I'm a pit bull in that respect. I'm gonna bite down harder. So, I mean, earlier we were talking about obstacles in your life, and sometimes you're given every reason to quit, man. We were talking a little bit about the Bellator reality show earlier and how they're exhibition fights.
Yeah.
Well, one thing with an exhibition fight is you don't have to follow the same rules and regulations as pro fights.
Okay.
Whenever you're doing those exhibition fights, there isn't necessarily a 30-day or 60-day or 90-day no contact.
Gotcha, yeah.
So you guys, I think in the film, I like keeping my hair short because I like to show it off, but I have a scar that runs from here to here from surgery. Now, again, when I fought in those exhibition fights, I fought 3 times in 21 days against some other of the toughest guys there. I mean, I fought 2 undefeated guys, and then I fought 1 veteran, man. My first fight went pretty quick. Didn't take a ton of damage, took some damage, but I was able to choke the guy in the first round. The second fight, I got my butt kicked, dude. I was rocked. I was bloodied at the end of the first round. I came back somehow in the second. I caught the guy in a triangle from the bottom and submitted him. So
nice.
So that was good, but I probably had no business fighting a third time. No, well, I didn't get hurt then. I got hurt in the third fight. I mean, I was already taking some damage in that second fight, but that third fight, I fought Joe Riggs, who's an old veteran of the sport, man, and we got done with the fight, and I had clearly lost the decision. But man, I was bleeding more out of my nose than I've ever bled before, like bad bleeding out of my nose, and my face hurt like more than it's ever hurt before. And what had happened in the fight, fighting back to back to back, you put your body through such stress. I mean, some of those little micro fractures and small fractures can become big fractures over the course of time. So I had a fracture in my frontal sinus cavity on this side, so they had to cut, peel me down, titanium on that side, and stitch all the way back up. And you want to talk about a couple months of really having to deal with some things, right? Having to deal with some depression and some anxiety. And then, like, I mean, when I first got out of the hospital, I mean, I had cuts, and I still had these little drainage tubes. So, I mean, I remember walking around Walmart to go get food looking like an utter monster, man. And I'm like, man, dude, why do I do this? Why do I push myself to do this? But through that time, again, that emotional resilience starts to bubble up, right? And it's like, hey, look, what you're doing is not only good for you, it's good for everyone. The environment that you're creating is not only good for you, it's good for everyone. So again, being able to create that environment where people can come in regardless of their race, their background, their social economic status, and they come here and they get a team that loves them and wants them to be better and be stronger. That's my life calling, man. That's my life calling, is creating this environment. And I do that through fighting. That's my way to get there, because if I'm going to teach combat sports and martial arts and make it be real, it better damn be tested.
Absolutely. Very nice. Very well put, man. Now, other end, right? Is it a difficult thing? I would imagine this comes with experience. Now you're on the other end. You drop that nasty hook straight, whatever the case may be. You see him rock, you see him hurt. How much patience do you have to have? What is that experience like? Because you see guys rush in, sometimes they get clipped, or they gas out, they punch themselves out because the guy wasn't hurt enough.
That's a great question. I don't know, that's a moment of the fight thing. That's an instinct thing. You think you smell blood, you go. But I mean, you've seen times in the UFC, like you said, or in other organizations where one guy thinks they haven't, and then they can't finish it. And then maybe the next round momentum shifts. So that's why I like always, like when I describe fighting to our athletes, I like using the term momentum a lot. Either you have momentum or you're losing momentum, in the sense that it's never finished. You might be gaining momentum, but that doesn't mean he's done. So at all times, like you said, you have to try to discern in microseconds what is the best game to go. And that's really hard to do. I feel like that's really an experience thing. Maybe guys with like 40 or 50 fights are better at that. With my meager less than 20 fights, still, for me, it's based on instinct.
Right on. Okay. All right. Well, shoot, we'll take it back to Evan growing up, right? Little Evan. He's growing up. Who are you watching? Who are you mimicking?
Hey, man, growing up, dude, I was really cool. It was really a cool experience because one of my neighbors was from Thailand.
Okay.
And his son was a few years older than me. But some of my first times watching, like, not only Bruce Lee, but also watching, like, some old VHS crappy Muay Thai tapes was at his house. And I mean, so growing up, like I said, I got some exposure to martial arts early. I loved the hero story, and I still love the hero story now in all its different various forms and functions. But I mean, in Keller, I was really blessed to grow up in a place where I really didn't have to defend myself.
Yeah, no.
So
yeah, absolutely.
You know, so I don't know. There was just something internally that knew that if I was physically prepared, I would be mentally prepared.
Very nice.
So, and I don't know what that was. Maybe it's the obsession with the hero story and the martial arts stuff.
Could be.
Maybe it's a pursuit of meaning. For me, I think, especially as I've gotten older in life and I've seen how effective this is as a means for people to transform themselves physically and emotionally, I can't imagine doing anything else with my life, because I have a direct impact on making people better people.
Yeah. Very cool. Very cool. Okay. Now, all right, Evan grows up, realizes there's some more real martial arts out there. You're in there, you've got a couple fights. Now that you're in the scene and it's real, now who are you looking at? Now who are you going like, man, that dude is awesome?
You know, honestly, it's speakers and entrepreneurs.
Really? Okay.
Fighting for me is a vehicle to get myself to a level emotionally and spiritually to where I can speak into other people and make the world a better place.
Very nice.
I mean,
okay.
Yes, fighting is an incredibly selfish sport, because when you're fighting and when you're getting ready to fight, it is me. But just like anyone else helps anyone else, you have to help yourself first, right? Okay. You have to help yourself first. You have to be a strong person first before you can help other people.
Right on. Yes, I agree.
But for me, fighting's a vehicle to get there.
Very cool.
Like obviously I still have some big goals. For me, the biggest cherry on top of everything for my career would be able to be in the UFC and stay there for a while. That would be everything. But I mean, even if I leave this interview and get hit by a car, man, tomorrow, I'm very happy with my body of work so far. I'm very happy with the impacts I've made so far.
Very nice.
Yeah.
No, dude, I mean, just, many people around you love you. You have a great support system. How much of the way you are, I mean, I'll tell you guys right now, he's a workhorse, man. He's a workhorse. He's gonna do his classes. He's gonna get his job done. He's the handyman. He's got 3 little boys, dude. These kids they're lightning rods, man. They're hauling butt everywhere. Katie, phenomenal wife, man.
Yes.
How much of this, what did you see your parents growing up? What do you attribute to them?
Dude, my parents are workers, man. My parents both grew up in poverty and both used social programs to be able to leverage themselves into better places in life. And I couldn't imagine some of the things that they dealt with and did growing up. My dad started working at like 10, 11 years old. My dad picked cotton out in fields in Mississippi, man, and stuck it in bags for just a little bit of money to help take home to mom. Because he grew up, no dad. My dad's dad passed away when he was real young, like under 5. And so my grandmother grew up with 4 kids, and she did upholstery. So there's not a lot of money in upholstery, you know?
Yeah.
But I don't know. I just watching my parents not only struggle and be successful, and then also talking to me growing up about, hey, look, we could afford to do certain things, but we choose not to, so we can invest our money later for bigger, better things, you know?
Right.
And that was something that always stuck with me. I remember, I have one memory where my dad finally, he really treated us because he got a gas-powered go-kart for us to go ride around. Because our backyard was just I mean, it wasn't, we didn't have it, I don't even think we had a whole acre, but it was something that we had just wanted for so long. And I remember when my dad got it, just being like, did we come into some money? Did we win the lottery?
We're balling.
But I mean, I was given, growing up, man, I was given a wonderful experience, and it's only through my parents working hard. And I think that's what's translated now today. And of course, the combat sports and martial arts and the hardening of the mind and the hardening of the body, I think helps those things. But dude, it's really your network that determines, I think, some of the places where you're gonna go. And that's not always true, man. Mental illness can steal people from other people. I mean, we've all seen people that are raised in great homes and raised in great places, and then, man, just there's something in the brain that isn't working for them. So that doesn't necessarily mean that environment's the only thing, but it's a big thing.
Absolutely, no, I agree.
And that's why it's so important, I think, here, at Fitness Fight Factory, we keep creating that environment, because there's people that don't have those homes. There's people that don't have that encouragement. I mean, we have kids in jiu-jitsu that we get to see go from being kids who are so afraid of confrontation to being strong and confident and walking around holding their gold medals from the tournament they went and did.
Yeah,
and when they do those tournaments, it's not who can do the move the most pretty in the air with no fight back. It's jiu-jitsu tournaments where those kids are on the mats and they're wrestling, and the winner wins and the loser loses. And that's an important part of learning in life. I mean, I think we've all seen participation culture just rot away at some people's ability
I don't disagree.
To determine, and discern what success means and what success should be rewarded with. So,
excellent. No, very, very, very good point. Absolutely. So, man, your next generation, your three boys, what are the lessons that you want to instill in them?
Man, again, it goes back to that resilience, that emotional resilience, because there's always going to be problems in life. There will always be problems in life, but I think true happiness is the ability to deal with problems. That's to me, that's what I see in people's lives as far as growing up, man. The ability to deal with the problems around them is what lets people move forward. And I think the answer is you can always be better, no matter where your circumstance is.
I would imagine your mom and dad are probably talking you out of it. Like,
oh, dude, yeah.
Oh, they're like, son, like, you're done, bro. Like, do not
mom,
do this.
dad, wife, everyone. I mean, I don't know how I got so blessed to have a network that loves me enough to show me and give me truth, but also loves me enough to trust me and to trust I know what I'm doing for my soul, because this is good for my soul.
I like it. I don't like it. I love it. That's absolutely excellent. Now we're gonna bring it back, right? So bring it back to the fight. What are you gonna say to our members? What do you say to our fans?
Hey,
how's this thing gonna roll?
I'm telling you guys, be watching, man. The Butcher's coming out. I'm always happy to go put on a show. I really, really, really want to go get a fast, mean, brutal finish.
Nice.
I think that would help solidify me and put me at the next level.
It's gonna be on UFC Fight Pass. Y'all better watch it.
April 1st.
Always a pleasure, man.
Yes. Hey, we'll see you.